Congratulations, you made it through the week. I know some of these workouts were really tough, and I'm super proud of you for getting through everything that you did. And if you substituted a workout for something that you love better, awesome. I'm glad you did it, because ultimately that's the point. How this fits into your life is the goal, because it's the unfortunate truth. We're going to have to be putting effort into our health and our well-being for the rest of our lives, in some capacity or another. Sometimes it'll be more of a priority, sometimes it'll be less. Right now, we are making it the biggest priority we can for the next 60 days. Today, we are going to be focused on mobility. We're going to be focused on the 5 drills that my clients use the most regularly and absolutely love. All right? So, all we need for today is a mat. Something soft on the ground, could be a rug. Because we're going to be doing some stuff on the floor, some stuff standing. It's going to be very relaxing, all right? So 10 minutes on the clock. Still, we're sticking to that 10-minute timer. Okay, here we go. We're going to plant our hands directly under our shoulders and our knees directly under our hips. Knees should be about hip width. From here, we're going to tuck our pelvis underneath, point our butt at the ground. We're going to start to round through the rest of our spine, pushing our spine up towards the ceiling. Then slowly untuck the pelvis, pulling your butt towards the ceiling. And then we're climbing up our spine, extending, and our head comes up last. From here, we're going to tuck our chin, push our upper back towards the ceiling, rounding through low back, rounding low to the floor. We'll do this 3 more times. Tailbone goes up. And you may have done cat-cows like this in the past, in yoga or something like that. We're just taking our time to be more intentional about the way our spines move. Most people aren't even aware of how their spine moves. They just know that it doesn't feel good. And they're sick of it feeling that way. All right, one last trip. Extend, climb up, touch in, climb back down. Great. Nothing terrible. Should feel really good. Spine should be feeling nice and loose. From here, we're going to do our next spine drill. So our next spine drill is going to be done, you can do this kneeling or standing, depending on how your knees feel. I like kneeling for this specific thing as we're introducing it, only because it's a little bit more stable. You don't have as much movement from the hips typically that comes when people are standing. But whatever feels comfortable for you today, right? We're gonna cross our arms over our chest. We're gonna flex our spine just like we did in our cat-cow. We're gonna rotate across to the right, almost like we're trying to pull our elbows around to the right. We're gonna side bend to the right, climbing around to the back and right, all the way up through the middle, all the way around to the left, side bend to the left, fold forward as we come through. So notice, hips didn't drop back. They didn't swim outside the side or go forward. We just tried to move the rib cage to the best of our ability. Okay, I'll show you from the side. We're gonna do this 3 more times. I'll show you a couple other setups that we can do. One of my clients loves it this way, so she kind of do it like a prayer pose. It's all about where you're trying to move your rib cage in relation to everything else. So rib cage peels down and we fold forward. If you're doing the prayer position, push your hands together as you do this. Cross to the right. Close the gap between rib cage and pelvis on our right. Now close the gap in the back. And slowly up to the ceiling as we climb up our spine like you're pointing your chest towards the ceiling. All the way across to the left. Around. And we work our way back. Left. Back, extending up, around, back to center. I'll show you my my favorite one. Shout out to Sarah for saying that. Here, and again, I'm not putting pressure on my neck, I'm just kind of locking in between my neck and my head. Extend back and get this really great stretch. Like that first stretch in the morning, all the way around. Back. I find the stretch to the side in this position just amazing. Again, any one of these positions is totally acceptable. Great. All right, ready to come up to standing. Now we're gonna do our shoulder exercise, okay? We're gonna take a split stance, right foot back, left foot forward, left hand on our left hip. Okay, we're gonna take our right hand and we're going to open up the armpit. So what I mean by that is from the shoulder, you're gonna turn out and kind of reveal your palm to the mirror, camera, to me. You're gonna reach your body around as far as you can. All the way up. Dump the water bottle out. So I'm like, almost like I'm checking my wrist, my watch, excuse me. And pour all the way out, the biggest arc you can, all the way around until you're reaching backwards, right? So your hands at your hip, reach back. If you're reaching for the back seat, open up so the water bottle is not facing up, all the way around, back across. Your palm is up when you're in front of your body, right? I want to make sure the palm is up in front of your body. Palm is, well, kind of up, but like thumb is down when you're behind your body, right? It's gonna allow you to sweep the biggest possible range of motion that you can. Again, pain-free is operative, all right? 2 more. Do this again. And then your range of motion is not gonna be my range of motion. So as big as this may look, if you find yourself doing this, it's not shoulder anymore. It's shoulder plus spine plus hip, and we really want to make sure that this is just happening in the shoulder joint because that's where this is the benefit for. Right, same thing other side. Open up that palm, lock the hand into the hip, come up and across. Then dump that water bottle out. If you are having pain as you do this, all you have to do is make it smaller. So if this is the range of motion that you can do, this is totally cool. It's gonna feel good afterwards, and you're holding a little bit of tension in your body, but you're not tensing like you're trying to hold in a fart in a busy room. Right? Just enough tension so that your body's not swimming around as we do this. We are under control, moving smooth and slow the whole time. Right? And as the weeks go on, we're gonna add to this. We're gonna make it more full body and show you last one for today or for this section. Okay, we're gonna do hip cars. Okay, so in this case, you may want something for balance. I'm gonna show you from the front. I'll show you from the side as well. Okay, we're gonna stab our heel across our body. Don't let the hips dip. Right? We're here. We are coming up into a happy sack position. Finding neutral, open the gate, ankle bone goes up towards the ceiling as the knee comes down. Knees meet, squeeze your butt just a little bit, lift, open the gate again, together, happy sack, stab the heel across. Right, not terrible. Again, if you're swimming, you're finding yourself doing this, make it smaller. Right? If your chest is dropping towards the floor, because that's one of the biggest things I see, chances are we're not moving in the right direction, right? It's too big. Make it smaller. Because this should be happening in your hip joint and nowhere else. right? Boom. Other side. I'll show you from this side. Using support. Right? Sweeping that ankle out the window. When I do this, I'm not here. When I do this, I'm not here. Right? Neutral. Negate. Ankle bone goes up. Knees come together. Lift. Open. Around. Push that heel across. Notice my hips haven't gotten any closer to the wall. Right? I'm not falling away from you. I'm staying as tall as I possibly can. Making sure that the only thing that's moving is my hip and not my pelvis, right? If I'm doing this, I'm opening up, it's too far. And that's, okay, again, it's not to say that there are strict, rigid rules and this has to be perfect. No, it's just the intent of the exercise is to keep the movement inside the joint itself instead of spreading it to the rest of our body, because the goal with this is to train and sustain health of a specific joint.
All right, welcome to workout number 7, part 2. So we're gonna work on improving our wrist mobility a little bit, and then we're gonna dig into a deeper stretch for your hips. This should feel really good. Your hips should feel nice and loose afterwards. All right, so we're gonna get 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go. So with our wrist cars, you know, we've done kind of cars from head to hip so far. We want to try pulling into the biggest wrist stretch we can. Tilt towards our pinky side and carve up until our palm is facing us. From here, tilt towards your thumb side. It's not going to be a big tilt. And extend as far as you can. Again, we don't want any pinches. So if you're getting a pinch on this side when you go here, or a pinch on this side when you go here, you want to back off of those spots. But you want to make the biggest circle you can without creepily bringing your fingers back towards you, because that's not your wrist, or shot glass hand, right? You want to be able to, I call it Barbie hand, where it's like your hand is one continuous blade the entire time. We're going to do 5 more circles. This should feel really good. Part of the reason I'm having you do this is because I'm going to have you stretching your hips in a way where your weight's going to be on your wrists for a little bit, and I want to make sure that they're nice and warm. Go ahead and reverse for the last 2. And done. Go ahead and switch to the other side. So I'm holding onto this because I want your wrist to stay facing you. I don't want you to bring in elbows into the game. We're just looking for wrists to play. And you'll notice, especially if you've been doing these workouts every day this week, you will notice that this wrist is probably a little tight, and there may be a side-to-side difference. That's totally normal. It's normal for there to be side-to-side differences in everything, because our bodies are inherently imbalanced. Go ahead and reverse for the last 2. And rest. That should feel really good. You can kind of shake it out. If you're working a desk job a lot, you're gonna love wrist stretches. It'd be super important, especially even stretching your hands. That's going to be really important for releasing the tension in here. And you'll also notice you'll either get this to go away or this to go away by getting your hands and your wrists to move better. Right? So into our hip stretch. So this is what I use very regularly with my clients. So you're going to be in kind of a plank position. You're going to slide the left foot back, and you're going to try to spin the ankle bone underneath you, and then place your knee behind it. So we don't want to be way out here and in like a modified pigeon pose. I want this knee to be directly under your hip. Okay? So in that, you want to shift over that leg. You don't want your knee to be shooting out to the side. If you need a deeper stretch than this, you can crank your other leg forward, pushing your knee further into your ankle. Right? I'll spin around so you can kind of see both sides of this. Little break dancing. So in this, we are hanging out in this stretch for, you've already been in here for about 30 seconds. We're going to be here for another 1.5 minutes. In this, I just want you to breathe. You can tilt your pelvis just a little bit so you can sink a little deeper into that stretch. Stay over that knee. If you need a pad under your knee, make sure you throw a couch cushion under there. If you're feeling too much pressure on your wrists, you can elevate your hands or put your elbows on yoga blocks or the couch in front of you. I'll show you that on the other side. All right? We're here for another minute. Big breaths. Should feel really nice, a nice deep stretch. We don't need to go too far because then our pelvis will start to rock and we're kind of cheating through our low back. We don't want any stress in your low back on this. We just want it to be about that right hip. And there's a lot of different ways you can do this stretch. This is just one of them. If you check out the troubleshooting toolkit, there's a bunch more stuff in there for hips if your hips are feeling really, really tight. All right, so now before you leave this stretch, you are going to squeeze where you feel the stretch. So what I'm trying to do is actually sweep my ankle bone back through, but my other knee is stopping that from happening. So I'm squeezing the stuff deep in my hip, and I'm trying to almost push myself out. If you notice though, I'm not moving anywhere. This is called an isometric contraction, basically a squeeze. So holding that squeeze for another 10 seconds. I know this feels like forever. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You're gonna take a big deep breath and you're gonna try to pull your ankle bone off of your knee. It's not gonna actually move, but you should feel the front side of your hip starting to kick on, right? You're not actually trying to win. You're just trying to squeeze the front side of your hip stuff. Holding that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Hang out in this stretch for another 15 seconds just to kind of let your body recognize, ooh, this is nice. I like this. The tension should melt away. If your hip was kind of screaming in that stretch, it should feel much, much lighter as you go into the next side. All right. So on the next side, I'm going to show you kind of what this looks like from an elevated position, where I'm cranking this foot under, I'm bringing my knee down, and I'm shifting my weight over. So I don't want my left knee to be far outside of my pelvis. I want to stay over that hip, getting a nice deep stretch as I do this. Again, it should feel like right through here on the booty stuff. We're gonna hang out for another 1.5 minutes here. 1.5 to 2 minutes. 2 minutes is kind of the gold standard. I won't go into all the biology for that. There's a bunch of that stuff in the troubleshooting toolkit. That's all of your like deeper mobility content lives there. So if you ever want to do a deep dive on mobility, it's all in there. Breathing and stretching. And as this relaxes, the screaming kind of quiets, you can pull yourself into a slightly deeper stretch if you've got it, right? We want to kind of keep a little bit of tension in that hip because we don't want our pelvis to just cheat out. So if you need to, you can come down a little bit, but keep your weight over that hip. So what I mean is, we don't want this to happen where my knee is shooting out that way. I want to stay on top of that hip as I do this. It may be helpful to back up to something like a wall. So you can, I don't know if you can see my foot is pushing into the fireplace. So that's to help me not slide on the mat. Forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Breathe and relax. Breathe and relax. Yeah, we say side-to-side differences are normal and no playing in painful ranges of motion. All right, from here, we're gonna go ahead and start to squeeze. Gently contracting that stretchy stuff. Holding for 30 seconds. 28, 27, 26, 25. I know this feels like forever. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, big breath. Front side hip stuff, squeeze. Ooh, it's gonna cramp. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly release. Sink deeper into the stretch if you can. Relax. From here, we're going to go into one last hip car, just to kind of click save on that range of motion. So it's the exact same as what we did when we were standing, just done. So very similar to what we've done in the past. Up, dog at the fire hydrant, heel goes towards ceiling, knees come together, and then reverse, up, out, around, down. Same thing other side, up, out, ankle bone goes up, around, knees together, kick straight up towards the ceiling, knee goes to the side, kind of a Captain Morgan-y position, and together. All right, that was part 2. Your hips should be nice and happy. If you need to, because you were on your wrists for a while, you can always repeat those wrist cars just to get a little bit of tension relief. Get these things to relax just a little bit more. One of my clients likes to do kitten paws because she has such tense hands that by bending her hands, it allows her to get into her wrists a little bit more, whatever feels comfortable for you. All right? Congratulations, you made it through an entire another week. And if this is your first time through the 30-minute workouts, I know that your wrists are taking a beating, and it's a lot of core stuff, a lot of really good hard work, but I'm sure your wrists are pretty tired. So, and with all of the core stuff that we did where your hands are planted, we're gonna go the opposite direction, okay? We're gonna bring the tops of our wrists together, and then we're gonna slowly pull our elbows down. That should feel really good. Only go as far as you can. My watch is in the way, so I'm gonna switch it. Right here, pull. The further down your elbows go, the deeper the stretch. And watch this, as you curl those fingers, that stretch gets a little bit deeper. It feels really nice through the top of that wrist. You can rotate a little bit so that the index fingers are touching each other, the pinkies are touching each other. We're gonna hang out here for another 30, 40 seconds. It should feel really good. Okay, you can have those hands relaxed, you can have them curled. The more stretch, the more curled, the more stretch, the more relaxed. The more curled, the more you'll feel in your wrists and maybe even into your elbows. So now we're gonna squeeze where we feel the stretch. So we're almost like we're trying to fight back into our own hands like this, right? They're siblings battling each other, pushing into each other. This is gonna increase the sensation of stretch at the wrist. Totally normal, it's okay, that's what it's supposed to do, okay? But we're not squeezing super, super hard, we're just fighting back a little bit. And then we're gonna relax. Let that stretch really settle in, and you can try another round with the fingers curled. And you'll notice whatever finger is hardest to curl is probably the section that you're gonna wanna spend more time on, right? That's gonna be the spot that needs more stretching. Right? If you can't curl your index finger, but you can curl your pinky real well, you're probably not getting as much tension through your pinky as you are through your index finger. I know that sounds nuts, but it's true. Okay, and now we're gonna try to extend our wrists. We're pulling the elbows down at the same time. So as much as our hands are fighting against each other, our elbows are pulling down too. We're gonna hold that squeeze for 30 seconds. I know it doesn't feel good. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Not yet, don't come out yet, don't come out yet. Almost there. Oh, I know. And slowly release. Let the elbows come up. Let yourself out of that stretch. Take back your hands. More wrist cars, I know. Or you can give yourself a floppy fish. all of this is just a way of adding blood flow back to the wrist, making sure that we're not pissing anything off so badly through the rest of our week that it's becoming a problem. But if your wrists are hurting so bad, please leave me a message in the group chat so that I can address it. I can give you other alternatives because I don't want you pushing through pain for 6 weeks only to then be unhappy with the results. Like your core is stronger and your workouts are good, but your wrists are pissed, right? Don't let this become a red light issue. Let me know before it becomes a problem, okay? So now we're gonna do something called gapping. So we're gonna grab our thumb and our index finger. We're gonna grab around the wrist, okay? So we're gonna kind of choke our wrist out a little bit, and we're just gonna move our hand gently. We're just trying to create some more space in that joint. It should feel like a really good stretch. Right, we're really just wedging our thumb in there and we're just trying to create some space in our wrists. Should feel good though. Okay, wrists feel good, shake them out. Okay, we're gonna finish with some knees and some ankles because I know that if you're doing lunging and all that stuff and you haven't ever done this before, you're gonna want some relief out of those knees, okay? So we're planting our heel and we're gonna imagine we're pushing out a cigarette. For those of you who smoked, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you ever smash a bug and like kind of grind it into the ground, I know that sounds kind of evil, but you get what I'm trying to do. So what we're trying to do is we're gonna try to take our shin bone and we're trying to rotate the knee joint, right? We don't want this happening because that's our hip. Right? So we're gonna kind of give our knee a hug and we're gonna rotate that back and forth. This is one of the best things you can do if you're having any swelling in your joints, especially your knees, just making sure that you can kind of pump that out because this stimulates a layer of connective tissue that otherwise doesn't get a lot of love, kind of like the rest of the cars, right? But this is the beginning of the knee car. So this is just part one of it. But back and forth 10 times, and it feels really good. Go ahead and switch sides, give that other leg a hug, rotate back and forth, grind that heel into the ground. And yours may be a very small range of motion. That's totally fine, even if it just looks like this. Even if it never does that and it just kind of only does that, totally okay. It'll expand if you really want to work on it, let me know because there's some knee work we can be doing. But ultimately, if you've got knee restrictions, we should be working on that in your program. But this should feel really nice. All right, so that's the intro to knee cars. We'll go deeper on it when we can individually. All right, so now to our ankles, right? So when we do this, we're gonna point our toe as far as we can. We're gonna sweep through. We're trying to draw the biggest circle that we can with our big toe. So this one, you really might hear some cracking. This should feel really nice. And then reverse, point that toe as far as you can, pull it across, up, pull the big toe as high as you can, around. Some real serious cracking. Same thing other side, 6 reps, 3 each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I didn't reverse. 6, and then we're gonna reverse. Sorry, 6 reps each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Congratulations, you made it through all 7 workouts. You should be really proud of yourself. And if you're just starting these 30-minute workouts, you've got another 5 weeks of this, and I think you're gonna love it. It's such a great challenge, and you get a good total body everything every day. So I hope you enjoy, and as always, leave me some questions and comments in the Sustainable 60 group chat. All right? Take care and have a great week.